All right, here's another lesson by request. This is Helplessly Hoping by Crosby, STILLS, and Nash. We're going to start out with an A minor chord. We're going to have a little finger picking thing. We're going to go. Okay, so it's a little pattern. I had to kind of rearrange this to fit on this instrument. This is an A minor 7 chord on the guitar. We're going to do an A minor on this because A minor 7 is C, and that's what we're going to next. So we're going to have to switch it around just a little bit, make it a little bit different. So we're going to have the 4th string and the 2nd string at the same time with that A minor chord. So we're going to hit that one, and then we're going to go 2-2 on the big string, the 4th string and the 3rd, and then we're going to go 4th string, little string, open. So let's look at that. We got 2 and 1, then 2-2-2, open, and then 2-2 again. That's our first measure. So we got. Okay, that's our first measure. Let's try it. 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now we're going to second time. We're going to do the 4th string and the 2nd string. But we're going to hammer on open to 1 on the 2nd string. As we hit that bass note, we're going to hammer onto that 1st fret of the 2nd string. So we got. And then we have the same picking pattern that we had in the rest of the first measure. So hammer on. Okay, and then we're going to go to C, 2-0-1-0. So the same picking pattern, even though we just changed one note, it really changes the feel of that chord. That's why I kind of rearranged it this way. So we got that C. That open string on the G string lets you know you're on a different chord than that first one. So we're going to do this twice. Now we're going to go top 3 strings open. That's part of a G chord. We're going to go opens. And then we're going to hammer into the 2 and the 1 from a C chord. And then we're going to go big string, open, little string 3, and then 2 to open on the 4th and 3rd strings there. So opens, hammer, D string, little string, 2 open on the D and G string there. We're going to do that twice. Okay, so it's a little tricky. Let's take it nice and slow. 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to go to a D chord. We're going to hit the 4th string and the 1st string at the same time. And then the whole D chord, and then 4th string, open on the 1st string, and then the 2 on the 3rd and 3 on the 2nd. So that ends with. So we got. Now we're going to hammer the small string as we hit the bass note. Chord again. Same notes with the open on the bottom. Open, open, 2, 3. So from this D again, we got. Okay, and that's our first main part of the song. So we're going to have, from the top again, we got. Okay, back to the beginning. So let's look at that real slow one more time. So we got the 2 and the 1. Now this time we hammer. Now we're going C chord. Do that twice. We got those opens for the G, hammer. D. Okay, so once you get into the swing of it, you're like. Now, after you get through the first one for the intro, You don't have to hammer that one all the time. That's kind of just in the first one. Now here we're going to have a little walking note to get into the C. We're going to walk this to this B note, open second string. So we'd have A minor. Say we don't do it that time. Now instead of the last 2-2 at the end of that, I'm just going to hit this open second string. And then it feels like we're walking into the C. So it has a walking bass effect that way. Okay, so that happens a lot of times. Then we're going to get into a little thing that just does A minor for one measure instead of two, and then C, and then G. So we're going to go A minor, C, and then we'll do that double G thing. And our regular D. Okay, so those are normally 2 measures of A minor, 2 measures of C, 2 measures of G, 2 measures of D. But when we get into kind of the little turnaround thing at the end of this, the verse part, we're going to get into just a minor for one measure, C for one, and then the G for 2, and the D for 2. Okay, and then you're back into verses. Get into the last one, we're going to go into a change here. We're going to have the A minor, C. You can kind of strum these. G sus has the 1 on the second string. So it's 1 measure each of these. We go back and forth 4 times. Now in this 5th one, we're going to go G to the F chord. And we have a new thing. Okay, and this is an approximation, as you have to do on this instrument a lot because we're missing some of those bass notes. But we have open on the 4th string, 1st fret, 2nd string, and we're going to kind of just alternate with the 3rd string and the 4th string as our bass notes there. So it's 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1. We do that twice. And then we're going to end that with. So that was big one, and then hammer onto the 2 and 1. Twice to the opens to the little 3, and then we move back to a verse. Okay, and eventually you'd be back to A minor, C, G, G sus. Times. Last time you got G to F, then you got that C with the D bass. I'm calling this little part. And then the end is. All right, Helplessly Hoping. Thanks for the request. I know it's been a while. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, great stuff. Cool finger picking, rearranged a little bit for the Baritone Ukulele. So thanks a lot for watching, y'all. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you have any requests. We'll talk to you soon.